Hey guys, it's me, BOBUSDIGITAL. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make an apple in the 3D modeling software, Maya. Let's get started, shall we? Alright guys, here we are on the homepage of Autodesk Maya 2026. So let's get started, shall we? First thing we would want to do is press on new. We're going to create a new scene. This new scene is going to be the scene that houses our apple in a 3D modeling space. So I'm going to give a quick tutorial on how to move your camera. So we're going to start off by holding Alt, which is located on your keyboard, Alt right here. And then we're going to hold left click, and then you can pivot around, you can move around. This is moving around your camera, you know. You can see we can flip our canvas, our scene, or whatever, you know. And then in the top right corner of our scene, it also shows us that which side we're looking at. So right now I'm looking at the back scene. Right here I'm looking at the right scene. Right here I'm looking at the front. I'm just gonna look right here as a default. And how to zoom in? Scroll wheel. Quite simple actually. Scroll wheel. How do you move up and down? You know, on the y-axis, you hold Alt and then right click. Oh no, wait. Oh no, sorry guys. Right click that's like the going forward and backwards. Sorry, I got that mixed up. I'm still kind of new to Autodesk Maya. Anyways, so how to like move yourself down? So you would want to hold Alt and then click into your middle mouse button. So it would look something like this. Ooh. Alright guys, we got it started. Let's go everybody. So let's get started on the apple, shall we? First thing we would like to do is move our mouse up to the top left corner of our screen. As you can see, it says surfaces up here. We're going to click on surfaces, and then we're going to spawn in a sphere. As you guys can see, we have our first NURB sphere. This is going to be our apple, as you can see. What I would like to do firstly is come close a little bit, you know, and then we're going to move our mouse right here to the left corner of the screen, and then we're going to click on this. This is the scale tool. I prefer to scale my apple up quite a little bit, probably like something like this, so you know, you get a better view of it. It's a bigger apple. Okay, so next thing we would like to do is move our mouse to the right side of our screen, click on Attribute Editor, which will bring up this, and then what I would like to do is label our sphere, because we're going to make an apple, so we should obviously label it as apple. As you guys can see, we clicked on the first tab, and then we clicked on the transform thing, turned it from NURB sphere 1 or something like that to apple. So now that our sphere is named apple, we can get started on shaping our apple. So to shape your apple, we're gonna hold right click, and then we're gonna move our mouse towards control vertex. These little dots around the sphere will pop up. I'm gonna move my camera up, I'm gonna drag, and then select this little top thingy, and then I'm gonna use this little yellow thingy. This is our y-axis. We're gonna drag it down, making the sorry guys, I made a little mistake there. Anyways, we're gonna select top. Oops. Top part. Alright, now that these two are selected, we can use our y-axis and punch a hole in the top. I want it to be that deep, so something like this works. Great. Okay. Now we have this, but this doesn't really look like an apple. It just looks like an orange, right? Now we're gonna shape it into an apple, guys. So on your keyboard, hit the space bar one time. It'll bring up different views, and what I like to do is go to front minus Z, press space to go into that perspective, and I would like to select the bottom half of the apple that we're currently making. And I would like to shape it either way. Make it a little taller. Make it a little, you know, something like this. Make it look like an apple. Now if we press space again, and then we can go to side X. And then we're going to repeat the process of doing the same thing. So that it looks the same. As you guys can see. Our next step is I'm going to go back into front Z. So press space and go to front Z. And then I'm going to select these 4 dots right here. Turn it down here. Use this little pulley thingy. I'm going to shape it towards an apple, as you guys can see. Oops. Alright. Next step is to repeat the process on the other side. So it will look something like this. As you guys can see, it's starting to look like an apple, is it? Right. Well, this side is. We have to do it to side minus X as well. So we're going to copy the same steps as we did before with front minus Z. We're going to make it look like an apple. Or sort of, you know. Now top Y, I like to select these two. I like to kind of round out the apple a little bit. So as you guys can see, we came to top Y, selecting these two. We're gonna round it up. As you guys can see, in our perspective, it looks better. Sort of kind of looks like an apple. But now this is going to be the part where we make the irregular shape. The irregular shape of an apple. As you guys can see in an apple doesn't really look regular, right? It's not a symmetrical shape at all. An apple is weird. So we're going to try to replicate that in Maya. So coming back to our perspective view, we're going to use Alt, left click to move around, and then we're just going to select these different nodes. We're just going to shape them randomly so that it looks random. As you guys can see. If it looks too round or too unorthodox, then you can change. This is completely up to you whether you want to make it look like this or not. As you guys can see. And if you ever want to go back, you have the simple button of Control plus Z. Wow, this apple is weird. But that's kind of what we want from an apple, don't we? You can play with this until you're finally happy with the finished product. I'm not really happy with the top, so maybe spreading that a little bit. Okay. Okay, this side is a little weird, so maybe.
"2,000 years later."
Once you guys have this shape right here, apple. Okay, let's suppose you modified your shape and you got what you like. Now, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to put a texture on your apple. So, we're going to right click on our apple, hold right click, and then we're going to move our mouse down, assign a new material down here. And we're going to click on blend. Now that we have blend, we're going to go to we're going to press here on the color, right here, the color. We're going to click on file. And then we're going to go download a Apple file off the internet. And then we're going to, sorry. We're going to be putting it onto the apple. As you guys can see, I already have my apple textured pre-downloaded. Once you guys have this step, as you guys can see, the texture looks a little weird. Why is it discolored right here? Well, that's because the apple is actually, or the apple texture is actually rotated 90 degrees. So we have to rotate it 90 degrees. So we're going to go to place 2D texture right here on the second tab. We're going to come to rotate UV. We're going to turn it to 90. We're going to type in 90. We're going to click enter, and boom. As you guys can see, we have a nice clean apple texture right here. Wow, amazing. Now our next step, or my personal next step, is to create a stem. Now I haven't created a stem for this apple, so I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create a stem. Let's go then. Come back to surfaces. On the top left corner, I would use a cylinder. So spawn in a NURBS cylinder, and as you guys can see, where is it? Where's my NURBS cylinder? Oh my gosh, it's gone. Well, you guys are looking too close, because it's actually inside of our apple. We're gonna go to our left. We're gonna select the move tool, and then we're gonna move our cylinder up. Whoa, this is not the cylinder I was expecting. So I'm going to be deleting this cylinder, and then I'm going to be using a, let's see, okay, I will be using a sphere once again. So copy after me. I'm going to come to attribute editor, click on the first tab. I'm going to transform our NURBS sphere into apple underscore stem. Now that we have apple underscore stem, you can move it up. As you guys can see, it is a sphere. Right? As you guys can see, it is a sphere. So what are we going to do with this sphere? How are we going to turn it into a stem? I will turn it into a stem by doing the exact same process as we did with the apple. As you guys can see. So I'm going to be scaling it down a little bit. We don't want the stem to be too long. We're going to click on Control Vertex. We're going to move to Front Z. I'm going to move a little bit up. Zoom in a little bit. Select the one half of the sphere. And then push it so that it is exactly the same. I'll do it on the opposite side as well. You guys will be left with this product. Now we obviously have to do it with side X as well, otherwise it won't be the same. So repeat the process. And you guys will have this block looking thingy. Is that right? Now, since we already have this block looking thingy, I will use the perspective thingy to shape it further. So I'm gonna select the top half. I'm gonna kind of extend it. We're gonna make it skinny. So we're gonna actually make it skinny both ways, as you guys can see. Well, we're gonna make it very skinny actually. We should make it very skinny. Now, an apple stem is a little shorter than this, right? So we're gonna make it a little shorter. And so I kind of made it a little, we kind of made it opposite. So we're gonna rotate it. We're gonna rotate it 90 degrees or to our liking. So like that. We're gonna use our move tool. And then we're gonna move it down into the apple. As you guys can see, we have our apple stem. Look at that. Wonderful. I'm gonna select 1/2. Maybe make it like a little irregular. Like that, just like that. Move it a little lower. Oh. I'm gonna move it down. Alright, so I cannot move it down anymore for some reason. I think we can. So I think, oh crap. Okay, so once we have the apple like this, we're gonna, well, once we have the stem like this, well, actually, I kind of have to move it down a little bit. Okay, now that we have the stem, I will be coloring the stem as well. So go assign a new material. Anyways, back to what I was saying, I'm gonna be using blend as well. Then we can, I don't really know what a apple stem looks like. I think it's like a little brown, right? Something like this. Something like this. Alright, excuse me guys. We have someone who wants to ruin my recording. No offense, mother. But now that we have this wonderful apple, this wonderful stem, we have finally finished our apple. This is the final product we're left with. An apple and Maya. Awesome, right guys? Now, I would like to thank everybody who has watched this video and made it to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking by, and I hope you guys learned something new. So that's how you guys make an apple in Maya. Congratulations to everybody who has accomplished this from my tutorial. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next tutorial. See you guys later.